Well, hello, Facebook. So tonight's video is going to be about how to find your ideal client and what platform you should be using to make sure that you're reaching them. Okay, so when you think about marketing and advertising, think about where you're putting your content. It doesn't do you any good to have amazing content if you're pitching it to the wrong people. Like, for example, if I'm selling skateboards, I'm not going to advertise in AARP. I'm very unlikely to get very many customers. So when you're thinking about your marketing and your advertising, you want to make sure that you're marketing in the right location. And so I'm going to talk a little bit today about various social media platforms and kind of a little bit about the consumer base that you should be looking for. The first step is know who your ideal client is. What kind of things do they like? Where do they shop? What are they into? Everyone talks about your ideal client avatar. If you go to my website, there's a target audience worksheet that you can download. But basically, how old are they? Do they have family? What are they into? What are their interests? A general idea of who you're trying to talk to so that you can make your message very specific to that person. You can also do that by analyzing your Facebook analytics in Facebook Manager. Go in and you can see who's liked your page the most, lookalike audiences, other pages that they've liked, other things that they follow. That's going to help you to figure out kind of who that person is, as well as other areas that you could advertise that you might not have thought about. Do a little bit of product research. Who else has bought your product? Who else has considered buying your product? Those are great ways to go about that. Type your product into Facebook and see what else pops up. Like if you're in digital marketing, type in digital marketing. Look at other pages and look how many things have likes or interest aside from your page, and check out some of those people's profiles. Check out some of their fans, some of the people that follow them. In addition, you need to know your goal. So if I'm marketing something and I'm setting my accounts up for the very first time, let's say I'm brand new, my initial goal is going to be to get an audience. Now, if nobody knows who I am, they haven't developed that know, like, and trust, so they're not going to buy from me. So the very first thing that I need to do is I need to establish an audience. I need to build a group of people that I can then sell my product to. If I already have a decent audience, I might focus on sales. So my messaging is going to be a little bit different than it would be if I was trying to get my audience in the first little go-around. Then what I wanted to really focus on today, and we're not going to get too deep because I have an entire book about it, and so I'm not going to dig super deep, but we're going to talk a little bit about a couple social media platforms that you should be using and the type of people that you're going to find on them so that you can really kind of maximize your exposure. Now, it is great to be on a lot of different platforms, but sometimes it's really hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain posting however many times per day you need to for that particular platform and do that for every single platform that's out there. There's dozens of them. And so in order to kind of maximize your time and your results, focus on 2 to 3 that you really like, that you're comfortable with. Think about the ones that you check at least once a day or once every 2 weeks if you're not really kind of social media savvy, every week. Think about those ones. Those are the ones to focus on. If you're on Facebook every day, that's where you should focus your time and attention. If you're checking Twitter multiple times a day, use that. If you spend 9 hours binging on Pinterest, use that. You need to be thinking about where you are and where you can focus your time. Now, one caveat to that, where you spend your time might not be where your ideal client is spending their time. So just think about that. If I'm a 20-year-old digital marketer, my client might be someone in construction who doesn't have a website, who doesn't have digital presence yet, and I'm trying to reach them. I might want to be on the HVA website. I might want to be in a builder's forum. I might want to be in a home improvement area on Pinterest. So the things that I'm into might not necessarily be the things that my client is into. So think instead about what your client is into as opposed to the areas that you are really into. So let's talk a little bit about each of the platforms. I'm going to go with like the 5 big ones. YouTube. Everyone is on YouTube. Everybody. there, all over it. You can post as many times a day as you would like. You're going to want to shoot for at least once a week, though, for presence, so that you're building up some consistency. And when people are on YouTube, they go there for a variety of reasons. A lot of them, though, are how-to videos. You can find anything on YouTube, and that's the reason so many people use it as a giant search engine. How to do something, and or entertainment, funny, humorous. So think about the people that are using YouTube. It is all ages, but primarily 18 to 29 is the largest audience group. There's a ton of downloads all day, every day. And then 30 to 49 is the second largest group. So you can pretty much bet that your ideal client, unless they're over the age of 70, is going to be on YouTube. And even 70, I wouldn't doubt it anymore because there's so much stuff on YouTube. So think about what it is that they're likely into, what interests them, and how might they be absorbing their media. So are they looking at funny cat videos? Are they looking to grow their business? Are they checking out how to set up SEO on a website? What exactly are they looking for? So that when you're uploading your content, you're adding those keywords and you're speaking to your audience in the way that they understand you. If I'm using super technical jargon to someone who's how to build a website for the first time, I'm not going to get my ideal client because they don't understand what I'm saying. So they're not watching my video. They're not paying attention. And therefore, I'm losing a sale because I'm not speaking directly to them. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is primarily business to business and or young people looking to start a job, looking to get a career. Very professionally based, resource based, and connection based as well, but for a very specific purpose. Now, I might be a young marketer looking to get in with a big marketing firm. I might be a receptionist looking to get in with a big company. Most people are job seekers. There are, in fact, contributors, but a lot of them are job seekers. They're on there for the express purpose of trying to find a job, trying to get information. And so now let's say I'm a digital marketer and I'm trying to reach out to these young people looking to build their skills. I might say, I'm teaching a mastermind and a skills course in how to reach your ideal client or how to better present yourself to companies to succeed. Something of that nature. How to rewrite your resume to attract more clients or attract your perfect job. You're going to focus it to the person that might be watching it. The other reason that business to business use it is for referrals. So I might say how to build relationships and get referrals through social media. I might have a class on it. I might have a blog post about it. That's kind of the basis of LinkedIn. 18 to 29 is the primary audience, again, followed by 30 to 49. And a lot of them are searching for those business to business referral networks if you're on the professional sphere. So if you're uploading content, make sure that it's valuable to how you can help them to do something in their job, how you can help them to get more clients, how you can help them to connect with someone else that's maybe higher up the ladder or higher up the corporate chain. You want those to be very educationally based. Twitter. News, updates, recent information, trending events. So if you do hashtag Twitter in Google, it'll give you things that people are talking about. People come to Twitter for instant events. Like if you think the Boston Massacre. People found out about it on Twitter before they found out about it anywhere else. And so you want to make sure that you're sharing relevant information and you're sharing things that are happening in real time because that's why people are on Twitter. In addition, it is kind of moving to a bit of a younger platform and they're using it to share memes. They're using it to share kind of day-to-day stuff in the same way as Tumblr, but it's a little quicker to the beat than Tumblr. Tag people, tag businesses at JNR Construction. Make sure that you're using hashtags and including people in your conversations so that you get more retweets of your information. That one again is 30 to 49 as its primary base with the younger kind of sneaking into it. For Twitter, you can post really anytime. Every half an hour is just fine. There really is no too much for Twitter. Same as YouTube. There's no too much for YouTube. LinkedIn, you're going to want to keep it at like once a day, maybe twice. There is too much for LinkedIn. Instagram is bigger and bigger and bigger every day. They're changing, they're shifting, especially now that they got bought by Facebook. They're incorporating stories, videos. The platform itself is moving. And Instagram isn't quite so much the 18 to 29, although that still is its biggest fan base. And the content is changing. So while it was primarily food and fashion, pictures of people's day-to-day life, what I ate for breakfast, what I ate for lunch, many businesses are using it to show off kind of the behind the scenes of their business, to give people a more intimate connection to them as a brand, sharing brand experience. So there's a difference between advertising and marketing. Advertising is what I see, what I offer, what I sell. Marketing is your experience with my brand. How I behave and how you view me is marketing. That's my brand. As opposed to advertising might be what my flyer is, or where I'm at, or if I do an ad. And so Instagram is a chance for people to interact and experience your brand on a more intimate level. So as a business, use those behind the scenes. Use things from your day-to-day life. Don't make it 50% off this, 50% off that. Really kind of give them an inside and personal look, because that's why they're there, is intimate connections. Make sure it's artistic. Your composition should be slightly different. You want it to have a same kind of brand consistency if you can. Intersperse pictures of yourself with pictures of your product. Intersperse your day-to-day life. A lot of Instagram is about composition, and people will like pretty pictures. Also, they are emerging and sharing more on the video side. Do little 30-second videos in your Instagram stories. Talk about what you're doing that day. Say, hey, I'm going to go live on my business page about X and Y. Let people know where you are and what you're doing so that they can get involved. Instagram is a lot of business to consumer or consumer to consumer. And so as a brand, you really have a lot of opportunity to showcase who you are as a person. Share your value statements and your missions. Instagram is 18 to 29 primarily, a little more female leaning, but again, that one is also aging up. Last but not least, Facebook. The giant, the massive, the all-consuming and ever-present Facebook. If you're a marketer on Facebook, you've probably felt a great deal of frustration trying to understand the Facebook algorithms that are constantly changing, constantly evolving, and constantly under construction. The reason for this is that Facebook wants to compete. Facebook is a social networking site. Its major intention is for family members and friends to connect with each other across the globe, across the US, and across time to share their lives, to share their stories, to share what they're into, and to share what they're doing. Silly videos. Video is now taking a huge skyrocket to the top. If you're not using videos, you are missing out, and your visibility is also probably very low. Make sure you're using videos of some variety. You can cheat the system by doing a GIF or by posting a video and having it set to only me. You don't have to do shared videos like what I'm doing now. Share a video of someone else's stuff. Just make sure you have video content in your feed so that people see it. The trick with Facebook is that you have to be engaging. You have to get comments. You have to get conversations going. If it's just 50% off this and nobody likes it, nobody looks at it, nobody engages with it, people aren't going to see it. End of list. Have questions. Engage with people. Have comments. Make sure that people can interact with your post by asking questions. If you just say, this is X, Y, and Z, and here's why, period, and you don't open it up for conversation, Facebook isn't going to weigh it as heavily. And so its visibility is going to go down. It is very visually driven, more so video driven now. So short in text, relationship focused, and it is used by all ages, although aging up. More of the younger people are onto Snapchat and Instagram and a little bit on Tumblr. And so that one really is kind of aging populations. Grandmas, grandpas are on Facebook too. Parents. It's kind of a 30 to 49. is its primary. But really, anyone and everyone is on Facebook. It's business to consumer primarily. But if you are a business, you are networking and referring with business to business, but it's not as much. And so if you are business to business, that's just fine. Focus on your groups and focus on your Facebook pages. Going in and liking other people's pages, commenting in their groups, and sharing information to set up strong referral networks. Pinterest. I'm going to mention Pinterest just real briefly because I have a whole book about it. If you are not using Pinterest, you are missing out. Pinterest is a giant search engine. You can post as many times a day as you want. And Pinterest is primarily women 20 to 49, and it is the most affluent of social media platforms for users. They have the most money, they spend the longest amounts of time on Pinterest, and they're the most likely to engage and share content and to trace back where the content is so that they can purchase from it. And so that's a platform, if you're not using it, you need to get on. And it can really be anything. Share articles, share blogs, share a picture of what you're doing with a link to your website. There's a host of ways to use Pinterest. And Pinterest, because it's still so new, advertising is easier and it gets seen by more people. And they do promoted pins. And if your content is something people are sharing and using, like recipes are huge. How-to is huge. Building things, creating things, memes, quotes. Depending on the day, different types of content will fare better. But for the most part, you can guarantee someone is going to like, share, or repin something that you post. And so long as you're using rich pins and you're adding your text, it's going to link back to information that you were putting on the web. Ask me more about Pinterest. I would be more than happy to help you out with it. So this was my little dive about your content and making sure that you're putting the right content on the right platform. If you want more information about what platforms to use for various types of business, like I said, I have an entire book about it. Type in strategy guide and I'll help you. If you're in my Google Rankings class, you're going to get it for free. Yay, you guys. If you're interested more in Pinterest and how to use it for business, also just write in Pinterest because it's a totally different beast and I'm really into it. So that is my little bit about content and content marketing and why it is so important making sure that you're in the right location for your customer to find you.